Hi, guys. Some of you told me you'd be interested in this. It is photo reading. So, this is not a psychic reading. We're not looking for any missing person in this one. What we're going to do is look through photos and read the photos. Believe it or not, there are whole classes on honing in on your psychic skills, reading a photo, and getting a feel for whether that person is alive or past. That's helpful. I know it sounds cryptic, but when you're searching for someone, it gives you an avenue to jump off of because you know whether you need to start looking for somebody who may be traveling, maybe moving, or are you looking for a body that's in a stagnant place and is not moving. And it does help. And a lot of people want to know that with their missing loved ones, especially after they've been gone for 5, 10 years. If you've watched my readings online, you know sometimes that information comes through even when I try not to bring it through. It just does. The death card will show up, the tower card will show up, things like that. But here today, we're going to practice on actually looking at photos. And I'm going to show you what I look at when I look at a photo. And I've gotten pretty good at this whole is the person alive or past. So I'll just give you a few examples of what I look for and what works for me, and then we'll give some examples also of people who are past or who are still alive, and you are going to do the guessing on those. So here we're going to go. So the first thing I'll tell you is that it's often in their eyes. That's the first place I look. There's something about their eyes. They look kind of flat, they look lifeless, and they look dull. And I know what I want the analogy to be for all of you is, when someone close to you passes and you go to their funeral and you look at them in the casket, right? And you're like, their life force is gone. That doesn't even look like them. They're just like a body, a shell. I mean, everything that life, that energy, their energy's gone. It's just not there anymore. That energy just fills them up and brings, the it lights up their eyes, for lack of a better word. When I look at their eyes, I can just see it, whether it's very like a dull, flat, kind of lifeless, or is that energy still swirling around in them. It also is a way that it makes you feel, because sometimes when I'll have, people, for example, these parents sent me a picture of their son who was missing, and the minute I looked at him, I just got the goosebumps, the chills, um, and you just know it's there's just a feeling. I can't describe it better than that, but that's what I'll say about the feeling. It's also in their overall feel when you look at their photo. So um, do they feel close? Do they feel um, like you could just see them, walking around, laughing? Is there life in that photo? Just in the overall, not in their eyes anymore, but in their overall feel of their person. There's there's a very far away feeling sometimes to people who have passed. And so that too, well, I'm going to give you some examples because I know it's hard for me to describe this and it's probably harder for you to understand this, but we're going to go for it and I'll give you some examples. So this girl to me has a very far away, faded feeling. She just feels gone. I don't know how else to say it. I look in her eyes. Her eyes, I mean, she's a beautiful girl, but her eyes to me don't have energy behind them. And her picture, her personhood in that picture, when I look at that picture, she feels very far away to me. I don't know if you're getting that or not, but this was one that every time I've seen this picture when she was found across my feed, it was like instant. I knew she was passed. I didn't need to read what was there. I just could look at her and I knew she was gone because it was in her eyes and it was also in her what I like call the vibe. Maybe other people will call it the aura, the feeling you get from the person. So here's another one. When I talk about those vacant, lifeless, faraway eyes, her eyes just seem so far away to me. There just seems to be no life in this person. I know she was alive when this photo was taken, but when I look at this photo, she has a feeling very similar to it has the effect on me as when I look at someone who's in their casket and that far, far away, they're just not there anymore. That's what this gives me. Her eyes look so far away. And her I'll call it an aura, her vibe, whatever you want to call that, her energy is just not there. So one thing I will note is that it's easier sometimes to tell if the person has been passed for a while. If the person has just passed recently and you're looking at their photos, sometimes you're not going to get such a strong feeling about their energy, because I do believe energy has a bit of a lingering um, bit to it for a while. So the good thing, though, is that first impressions are often right. So go with your first impression. That's what I tell people. And that's what I find to be right most of the time. And don't sit there and think about it, because the more you think about it, you're using your left brain, and you don't want to use your left brain. That's your logical brain. You want to use your feelings. You want to go with your gut, right? So that's what we're trying to do here, is just get into the feeling aspect of what do you feel about this person. So we're going to take a few trials on a few people, and we'll see how you do. If you're ready to give it a try, the way this is going to work is that we're going to put somebody up. I'm going to give you a few seconds. I want you to go with your first impression, so I really don't want you to stay on here for too long, but I'll give you, how about like 15, 20 seconds each person. Let's just say 20 seconds. I want you to go with that first feeling, whatever it is. And if you don't know, take a wild guess, because listen, I used to get this wrong all the time when I was in classes, and then I slowly got better and better and better at it. And it's just, I think, trial and error like everything else in life. All right, so here we go. What do you think about this person? Present or past? What are you feeling about her? Make sure to look in her eyes and get a feeling for the way her energy feels to you. Okay, I'm going to move forward. If you need more time, hopefully you've got your gut impression and you're just going to go with it. But if you do want to take more time, you can pause here. So she was past. Her eyes to me looked very vacant, and her energy was long, long gone. Long, long gone. Here's another one. Would you say she is present with us now, or is she past? Okay, I am going to move forward. If you would like to pause, you are welcome to do so now. She too was past. There was a vacancy in her eyes. There was an overall feeling of the energy just not being there. Very much so a feeling of, to me, again, that long gone, far away feeling. Present or past? Okay, once again, we are about to move forward. Remember, you want to look in the eyes, see if you see life in the eyes. If you feel life in the eyes, and you want to feel their overall energy and feel if you get that this person is active, moving around in a human body, if they feel, I don't know how else to say it, alive. If you want to stop, now's your time to pause. Now he's present. He is very much alive. Present or past? Okay, we are going to move forward. So if you need to pause, now is the time to do so. She's also present. Very alive, that one. If you want to go back and look at the person a little bit more, feel free to after it's been revealed. All right, present or past. This person very, very much, to me, is kind of one of the obvious ones. Okay, I am going to reveal it and I am moving forward. So if you need to pause, pause now. I will just say, look at his eyes. I mean, he looks like one of the most far away. Some people say if the feeling is flat, a flat feeling when you look at them. If their photograph looks flat, like again, just that lack of life, lack of energy. Past. Present or past? Okay, if you need more time, now is time to pause. I will just say, look at her eyes. They are sparkly. She looks like she's about to jump out and shake your hand and laugh and be silly. She's a beautiful girl. She's got a lot of energy coming out at you, doesn't she? A lot of energy. Very, very, very much alive. Okay, we are going to move forward again. Present or past? Okay, I am going to go ahead and pause. So, yeah, or you can go ahead and pause. I'm going to move forward. If you need to pause, pause. But here we go. He is present. He is with us. Present or past? All right, we're about to move forward. Go ahead and pause if you need to. She is past. Now, she was kind of a trickier one because she still, I feel, had a lot of residual energy. But when you really look at her in her eyes and when you really look at her in her just overall, the way she feels, she definitely feels to me to be very past. Okay, now big challenge for you. This is making it even harder. Present or past? Three of these people are past. One is still present. Tell me who is past and who is present. Feel their energies one by one, and I'll give you more time for this. Go to the boy in the checkered shirt. You can go to his dad, then to his mom, and then to his sister, and get a feel for the energy that's coming out of these photos. And what do you feel there? Okay, getting ready to move forward. If you need to pause, please do so now. The little girl in the pink is the only one present. You can look at the boy's eyes, and boy, that boy feels so far away when I look at him. So, so far away. Same with the dad. I mean, there just doesn't seem to be a glimmer of energy left in them. Mom looks a little more like energy is still here, but she too, there's that vacancy in her eyes. And then when I go to that little girl, she kind of lights up and she's just got energy in her. I don't I don't know how else to describe it. When I feel into her, she feels very much um, living. Just looking at her dad above her and at her, there's such a sharp contrast between the feel of those two, and her brother too. I don't know if you feel it, people. I don't know, but you're really picking up on the energy in people. And I think if you are good at kind of walking into a room and feeling people's energy, meaning getting a feel for people, I always feel like my first impressions of people are always right. Always right. They could be the nicest person in the world, but if I get that feeling like you better be careful with this person, always right. They will give me a reason real soon that I had that feeling. And it's the same kind of um, feel that you're getting for people in photos. So it does help to have kind of a little bit of empathy in your nature. If you don't, you're probably not going to understand this connection to energy, other people's energy, and what you're picking up on that um, is not obvious, but feeling wise, it may not be obvious action wise in front of you at the moment, but feeling wise, you feel it and you know it. And we all know that. We've felt people that we just know whether they're great people right from the beginning or they're not. It's very, very similar to that. All right, so how did you do? Let me know in the comments. I hope you did great. And this is really a skill that you just have to keep working on. I've done a lot of it. I've gotten pretty good at it, but you'll never be 100%. It's like everything else psychic, you're gonna misinterpret things every once in a while, but you'll get better and better. You'll start scrolling through your feeds and you'll see a picture come up and you'll just get that tingly, funny feeling and you'll look in their eyes and you'll get a energy, feeling about their vibe and you'll just know they're past. Then you'll stop and read the article and they are. And that happens to me all the time now. And it's a little creepy, I'll be honest. It's a little creepy, but it is something I actually was working towards. So why am I surprised that it works? All right. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.